Hey viewers, Chris from Chris Tanks Rule with you. Today's video, I'm just going to get straight to the point. There's a ton of these videos out there. I'm just basically going to show you how to do an oil change on a 2001 Dodge Ram. Oil is very important for your car, obviously, or truck in this case. It's pretty much the lifeblood of any engine and really any type of motor, transmission, anything with gears or moving parts. When it comes to engines specifically, oil has four very important jobs. It lubricates, it helps clean the motor, it helps your seals, and it also cools your engine as well. So it is a very important thing to follow your vehicle maintenance guidelines, change the oil out when it tells you to, things of that nature, and that's what we will be doing today. So hopefully you enjoy, and hopefully we might even learn something new together. Okay, so here we are at the front end of my truck now. For those of you that are wondering, again, it's an 01 Ram with the 5.9 liter V8 Magnum. This is my camera guy / assistant, James Looney. Just so you all know.
Remember, children, smoking is bad. Do not do it until you reach the proper age.
And smoking is bad near engines and batteries, but we'll just pretend we didn't see that. Anyway, first step is, of course, make sure you have a drain pan. And you want to take off your oil cap, usually located on top of one of the valve covers. This usually helps the oil drain faster because the engine can suck in air while you're draining the oil. This particular motor uses about a 5/8 wrench for the drain bolt. And that is what I'm going to be going out to do now. Unfortunately, for our truck, we don't need a jack because
it sits up high enough.
Correct. But, of course, safety first. Anytime we do vehicle work, kids, put the thing in park, make sure your e-brake is in. Alright kids, we are underneath the truck, obviously. Here is your drain pan. The drain bolt is what we just got done putting the wrench on. Now, usually when you go to do an oil change, expect that bolt to be on there pretty tight. And that's just from heat and metal cycle. It's like heating and cooling. And also another tip is you usually want to try and do an engine oil change while the engine's warm. Because the oil runs smoother, it'll drain out faster, and it just helps things overall.
Alright kids, this is the spot where it really sucks to do this. What's about to happen as soon as I pull this is I'm about to get hot, and I mean hot oil all over my hands.
Gloves are usually recommended.
Yeah, but we're not wussies, so...
Or redneck.
Like I said, hot oil.
Kids, this is about the best way to remove an oil filter. It's an oil filter wrench. They come in many different sizes and formats, but in case you don't have one of these available, you can always use a flathead screwdriver. Just be careful and know that you will wreck the filter when you remove it, so hopefully you don't have any plans to keep it. I'll hand it to my assistant and I'll crawl over there. That is kind of messy because there's usually anywhere from a half quart to a quart of oil up in the filter when you go to pull it.
Once again, it's hot too, by the way.
And make sure you're done draining before you pull it. Oh man.
Yep.
Never take a piss on you, kids.
Once again, that oil is hot. Not hot enough to burn, but hot enough to know you touched it.
Alright, now, just so you know, I am not getting paid for any of this, but this is the stuff I've been using lately for my oil changes. Lucas Oil Stabilizer, been using it for a long time. Works great in oil change for your older engines. Just an overall great product. I haven't really seen it save an engine per se, but it does help it live a better life. The oil that I'm choosing today is the Valvoline Max Life 10W30 as per the manufacturer recommendations. Also the high mileage formula. And of course a Pram Extra Guard oil filter.
A good tip to save your seal on your oil filter is to take some oil and just run it right around that seal. That way it gets a good seal and also prevents the parts from leaking and rusting.
Alright, got the new filter underneath. We're back underneath the truck, obviously. Probably can't tell it, but Looney has been trying to clean where the filter mounts.
That way it's a good preventative to allow the new oil to get a fresher seal. The whole point of an oil change is to replace the bad oil with fresh oil to prevent other maintenance issues to appear. Now, when installing a filter, you want to first seat it and then turn towards the exhaust.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Yep.
In this case, he's going right to left, folks. It's just a tosser toward the exhaust in this particular truck. Now, mind you, each car is going to have different types of filter setups. Most trucks, most older trucks and older V6 cars will have this filter setup, but there's also weird setups. I know the 2.2 Ecotec engine setups are weird.
They're an enclosed oil filter, which is a pain to work on, if you ask me.
They're very cheap, usually only $2 to $3, but a big pain in the butt to get to.
Have to buy a special size wrench to fit over top of it to pop it out.
But we digress.
Yeah.
Once it starts stripping, we can go ahead and start to reapply the screw. My low level will kick back in here.
Some people say finger tighten's good enough, but in my previous opinions, you always want to take it and turn it.
Usually a half turn.
Or in this case, I'm going to go almost a full turn because she is a whole older truck, and with older vehicles, the heat exchange process will cause some bolts to fail. So it never hurts to make it tight.
Well, a good rule of thumb too is, you know, just tighten it until it's snug. You don't want to over tighten it because then you run a good chance of cross threading. And I don't know about you, but having to pull a whole oil pan because of that mess, not worth it. It's a good rule of thumb. Snug it and be done with it. Alright, we're back up underneath the hood again, or under the hood rather than under the truck. Yay, we can breathe. On a lot of vehicles, especially newer ones, you are going to have a splash guard inside your valve cover head assembly, which means that your oil funnel can't go in too far. Some cars and trucks bypass this problem by actually having an oil fill. Unfortunately, we don't. So, trucks like this, you usually just have to hold and fill.
Yep.
I like to pour in the Lucas first. Now, this stuff is very thick, so you have to not only keep it from overfilling the funnel, but just it takes a while to drain. So we will add this first, and then add our oil, and then we'll continue from there. Before we add the rest of our oil, gang, the Lucas was about 1 quart. These things are supposed to only take about 5 quarts altogether, so we're going to start off with just 4 quarts from our oil jug here. If we feel it's necessary to add more, we will, but usually 5 quarts does it, so quart of Lucas, 4 quarts of oil. One thing I forgot to mention, by the way, we are done with our oil lighting. Sometimes you may get some runoff, you know, funnel pops out, that sort of thing. So if this happens, actually you may well know the exhaust is right down below it. So if that happens, you might get a burning oil smell. It's probably just coming from that. Go.
One of the last steps to do is to locate your engine oil dipstick and check it. You might have some residual from the original oil in there, so you always want to wipe it off and stick it back in. But you always want to check to make sure she's got the right amount in her. Otherwise, it's not a good thing to run. And as you can see,
now comes my favorite part, y'all. Starting the engine after I check it. Couple of things to do when you start it. Listen for it, and also take a quick peek underneath and make sure you're not leaking. Here we go.
A good tip to tell that you had a fresh oil change, as long as it's registering a little over 40 on your pressure, means the oil is running, circulating proper.
Now Looney's going to show you underneath to show you that we're not leaking.
Yep. Looks clear. No leaks nowhere.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed this quick video about how to do an oil change. I'm Chris for Chris Country. Meet my assistant Looney back behind you. You can always feel free to visit me on my Facebook page, Chris Country, or as always, feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hope you all are having a wonderful day, night, week, weekend, whatever time it happens to be, wherever you're at. We'll see you on the next video. Catch you later.
Enjoy life, everyone.